Hey guys, how's it going? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides, and as you can see, we're in my garage and I have my Focus RS behind me. Today we're going to do an easy modification to the car that I think will not only make you a better driver, but it'll make the car more fun to drive, and you know, at the end of the day, when you're doing a track day or an autocross event, actually increase your performance. One of my biggest complaints about this car is that, I don't know what the engineers were thinking, but the gas pedal is way too low in the foot box, or footwell. When you go to heel-toe downshift, which is something that when you're driving a manual transmission car like this, it doesn't have the auto rev match, so you're going to have to use a little technique and skill if you're going to be pressing that brake pedal with the ball of your foot and then rolling your foot over to make contact with the gas pedal so that you can blip it, so to speak, and that will help you match the RPMs between the transmission and the engine so you don't get a bunch of herky-jerkiness. The problem is, like I said, the pedal is too low. An easy modification that I found is to get a spacer, an aluminum spacer, and put it behind the gas pedal, which will actually bring it out. Now, you know, cars today from the factory, there's a lot of adjustments you can make when it comes to a tilt steering wheel, telescoping steering wheel. If you get the RS2 package with a Ford Focus RS, it's going to come with those fully powered driver's seat, just like if you get a 2018 Focus RS, it comes automatically with that. This will also help with an ST as well. So this is not only for a Focus RS, but also for the ST, because they have the same gas pedal problem. Let me show you what I found. Now, I actually went on a website. I did try different websites, and you know, there's some places that are asking more, some places that are asking less. This is actually the first time I used a website called Etsy. If you don't know what Etsy is, I guess Etsy is a website for people who do things at home, build things, create things, construct things, and then you can have a website to sell them. So here is the spacer. It's, like I said, made out of aluminum. It is a 1/4 inch thickness, and it's really nice. It's been powder coated, so it's got a nice durable finish, and I like the way it's black because it's just going to blend in with anything. So if anybody just sticks their head down there in the footwell, they're not even going to know that you did anything. Now, I went ahead and I did something that maybe us guys don't get any credit for, or you know, there's that stereotype that we don't like to do. I did read the directions, so I thought it'd be wise to read the directions to see exactly what it entailed. And to be honest with you, after looking at the directions, it's a piece of cake. And I'm telling you, I think from controlling your car, you're going to get extra performance because the car is going to obviously be a lot smoother transitioning through the gears from the brake. Like I said, especially if you're doing an autocross or a track day event. But if you're going to be able to set up the steering wheel and everything and the seat perfect for you, you want those pedals to be perfect, and this is the way to do it with this spacer. Now, when it comes to tools, it's really, really simple. You're going to need a 1/4 inch ratchet. You're going to need a 10 millimeter. Now remember, this car is built in Germany, so they use the metric system over there. 10 millimeter deep socket. The reason why you want a deep socket is because there are 2 threaded studs that the nuts screw onto, and you're going to want to be able to slide this over that. Now, in the directions, it doesn't say anything about an extension. And you know, being around a mechanic shop my whole life, my dad owned a mechanic shop for over 30 years, the right tool makes the job even that much easier. So I went ahead and got myself a 6-inch extension and also a 4-inch extension. So with these, this is going to make it a little easier. But before we start, I want to go ahead and show you what the problem is, how it is very low in that footwell, and then I'm going to go through the process and we're going to take it off together, put the spacer on, and then get the pedal back on so that you can see the difference. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go check it out.
Alright guys, so here we are inside the footwell of the Focus RS, and like I said, the Focus ST and the Focus RS are going to have this same issue with the gas pedal. So if you look right here where my finger is, there's the gas pedal, here's the brake pedal. You could see just how much lower the gas pedal is compared to the brake pedal. And the problem is that if you pretend my hand is a foot, if you close your eyes and maybe like cross them or something and then look, it may cause a problem for you, because when you go to blip that throttle, it's not gonna be high enough. So we're gonna move this gas pedal up just a bit to where we could then roll our foot and blip the throttle. So I'm gonna go ahead and reposition the camera, get the tools ready, and we're gonna take this off together. Let's go do it. All right, guys, so here we are in the footwell. I have a nice fluorescent drop light to kind of illuminate everything. I highly advise using a drop light. I think a flashlight is just gonna be a real pain in the rear end. So get yourself a drop light, makes the job that much easier. Here's our gas pedal. You can see that there's two threaded studs with the nuts attached. You have one down here on the left side, one above on the upper right side. Now, I've already gone ahead and loosened both nuts just to make this video go a little bit smoother. One thing I want to point out, now the directions say you don't have to, but you know, I don't feel comfortable taking this gas pedal assembly off without unplugging it, because why have it hanging? I just, why put stress on the wires? So it's real simple. You're just going to reach up here and go ahead and slide the plug off. As you can see, it's very loose because I've already loosened both of the nuts. You're going to go ahead and take off the lower one down here. Remember, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. For the one on the bottom, I use the 6-inch extension because there's plenty of room to work with, and it allows your hand to move nice and smoothly. And you just want to be careful not to drop anything or lose anything. The kit from Etsy does have two locking nuts that you're going to want to use that come with the package. So there's one. Now I'm going to go ahead and switch my extension to the shorter one. The reason why we're doing that is because there are wires, and there's the top of the plastic here that's in the way. So you don't want to get in the way of all that. So this one is a little bit tighter to get to, but we'll make it work. It's a little harder too because there's a camera right in my face, but we'll make it happen. Like I said, I loosened them up really well, so kind of make this whole thing go a little smoother. And there's that. And off the assembly it goes. Okay, so we have the gas pedal assembly out of the way. Here's our spacer, 1/4-inch spacer, like I told you. Really, really nice how they do it. They have both holes already there for you. You could see the two studs, the two threaded studs. So we're just gonna go ahead, take the spacer, slide it on over. There it is in place. Then we're gonna take our gas pedal assembly, and we're gonna do the same exact thing as you did on the spacer. You just put it right over the two threaded studs like that. Now we're gonna go ahead and get our nuts together. That kind of sounds a little funny, doesn't it, when you say it that way? But we're gonna get the lock nuts to put on the threaded studs. So let me get those and we'll pick it back up. Okay, so I went ahead and put on the locking nuts on the threaded studs. Don't forget to reattach the plug. If you're gonna disconnect the plug, reattach it. When you plug it back in, it's gonna make a nice click sound to make sure that it's secure. Like I said, the directions don't say to unplug it, but you know, I remember my father yelling at me when I went to go unplug things out of the wall, and instead of pulling on the plug, you pull on the wire. I didn't feel like it was necessary to have the gas pedal assembly dangling from the wire, so it's real simple just to unplug and plug it back in. Make sure you hear the click. Now, just like any other time, when you go to start putting your locking nuts on the threads, you're going to want to do it by hand first. Don't just take the ratchet and start ratcheting it away, because you could cross thread it. All you do is just put it in the tip of the socket, and if you're gentle and careful, you could slip it on there and then just hand screw it on, and then that's when you're going to want to go ahead and get your ratchet to tighten it down. Now, obviously, these things you're not going to want to torque down super intense, so just use your best judgment. Obviously, like we talked about before, righty tighty, lefty loosey, and real simple. We're just tightening the bottom one down here, and then we're going to tighten the top one. Now, like I said, the top one you're going to want to use the shorter extension only because there are wires in the way and this trim piece, the plastic trim piece underneath the steering wheel. So we're just going to do the same thing up here. It's a little harder to see, especially with the camera in my way. I'm trying to give you guys the best view. Almost got it. One more turn at it. Like I said, don't overdo it. That is plastic. This housing is plastic. So for the gas pedal assembly, if you go too tight, you're going to crack this plastic, and then you're really going to be SOL. So use your best judgment. Do not over torque it. Make sure it's tight, but not too tight. And there it is. It's finished product. We clicked in our plug up here. We got our 2 locking nuts on the threaded studs, and it's all finished. And you could see now, I could clearly see that the gas pedal is a little bit higher compared to where we were before, so that when I go to hit the brake, or when you go to hit the brake, you'll be able to roll your foot over much nicer to get that heel to toe downshifting. If you don't even know what I'm talking about with the heel to toe downshifting, there's plenty of videos out there. I'm sure when I go to do my next track day or just driving around, I'll try to figure out a way to shoot a video showing you how to heel toe downshift, because that's something that I learned in racing school. And I know it's sort of like a lost art because everything is manual, automated gearboxes, but it's definitely a skill that you want to have, because it just makes that whole driving experience that much better if you're driving a manual transmission car, if you know how to do that. Especially if you're doing, like I said, track days, autocross events, or if you have a nice curvy road in your neck of the woods, you're going to want to be able to match those revs, make it nice and smooth. But now we're done, and let's go ahead and just enjoy this thing.
Alright guys, so there you go. Hopefully this whole little how-to video has been very helpful. It's really simple to do if you just take your time, just like always. Don't ever rush a job, because when you rush it, that's usually when you're going to make the mistakes. I forgot to tell you at the beginning of the video, I found that spacer for $20 on Etsy. So it's a very affordable thing, and I'm telling you, it may not increase your horsepower numbers, but what it's going to do is it's going to make the car faster, because you're going to be more comfortable behind the wheel and more, more smooth behind the wheel, because when you're doing that autocross event or that track day or on the twisty road, you want everything to be balanced. You could actually upset the balance of the car when you're on the brakes, weight's transferring forward, you're messing up the blipping, the car is just out of whack. You're not going to want that. It's going to throw you off your game. You don't want to be thinking about those things. It's like you want them to be all muscle memory. So I highly recommend this modification, even if you're just, like I said, doing some fun driving on some twisty roads in your neck of the woods. I took the car for a quick spin. Everything checked out just fine. It is easier to blip that throttle. In a couple of days, I'm going to be taking you on some of my twisty roads in my neck of the woods, just to go a little bit more in depth with it, show you how it works, and we got a lot of exciting stuff coming up on Raiti's Rides. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you not have hit that subscribe button, please hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worth coming back. Hit the bell, get those notifications. I do have a website, raitisrides.com. I have my Instagram, Raiti's Rides, and Twitter. Everything that I post is original content, from obviously my YouTube channel all the way through my Instagram and the tweets that I do. Also, if you have not gotten your Raiti's Ride shirt, I'm putting the link in the description. Real easy. It's a crowdfunding campaign. You just click on it. This second batch, it's a green light. They are going to ship. We met our limit. They're only $15. Support the cause. I appreciate you helping me out. And like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.